Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be making a Indian/Nepali staple. It's called dal, D-A-L. It's a staple in their culture. I enjoy it very much. So does my girlfriend because she's Nepali. She introduced me to it. It's essentially like a lentil curry or a lentil soup. It's packed full of nutrients and spices and flavors. We put it on rice and veggies and it's really delicious and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so today we're going to be using the Instapot to make our dal. It's going to take about half the amount of time that it usually takes. Lentils take about an hour to cook if you're just going to simmer them on the stove. But in the Instapot, it's going to take about 30 minutes. So for this recipe, we're going to be using 1 cup of dal, which is going to include a 1-to-1 ratio of red lentils and yellow lentils. I'll leave a link below so you guys can find exactly which ones to buy. They're called Moong and Masoor Dal. We're also going to be using 1 onion medium diced, 2 tomatoes medium diced, 6 cloves of garlic minced, and we have some spices here. There's going to be about 4 bay leaves, 2 chilies, 2 teaspoons of cumin seed, and about 4 or 5 cloves. And of course some salt and pepper. And it's only going to take about 30-35 minutes to assemble, and it's going to be delicious. So we're going to be using the saute function first on the Instapot. So if you've never used the Instapot before, it's got a bunch of different settings. We're going to be using this saute one. So just push the saute and it's automatically going to like start on its own. You don't have to like press start or anything. We're going to add some oil, about, I don't know, 2 tablespoons of oil. And then once the oil heats up, we're going to add in the spices and let the spices bloom and let all the aromatic flavors come out and flavor the oil. So we're going to add the spices. The oil is nice and heated up right now. Only takes about a few minutes with the Instapot. It's pretty fast. So we're going to toast these spices in the oil, probably for about like 5 minutes. Once the spices have browned and you can smell them and they become fragrant, which they will, they're very aromatic spices, we're going to add in the onions and we're going to add in the minced garlic. And we're going to let this cook until it gets nice and brown, golden brown, probably like around 6 or 7 minutes. So the onions and garlic have been sauteing for about 7 minutes now. One thing to note, I'm not really an expert on the Instapot. I didn't realize that if you press saute, it has a less, a normal, and a more function. So it was in the middle on normal, and then it got like a little too high, and then I put it onto the less. So when you're doing this, I would cook it on normal for about 5 minutes, and then put it down to less, and then cook it the rest of the way. Now the onions and garlic are nice and caramelized and brown, and we're going to be adding in the tomatoes next and cooking these for another 7 minutes as well. We're also going to be adding in the salt and pepper now. I'm putting in at least 2 teaspoons of salt and about 1 teaspoon of pepper, but you can just adjust it accordingly to whatever your preference is. So I'm going to be turning the Instapot back up to the more function, and then once it gets to temperature, I'll bring it back down to the normal. And I'll just keep an eye on it just to see how it's sauteing and making sure that it's not burning anything. If you have more experience using the Instapot, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Now that the tomatoes have softened, we're going to be adding in some turmeric powder, about 2 teaspoons. The turmeric is going to give it a really, really beautiful color. And we're also going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of Hing powder. This you can find at your local Indian grocery store, or you can just get it from Amazon. We'll provide a link below for you guys. We're going to let this cook down for about 1 or 2 minutes, and we're going to add in the lentils, and then we're going to add in the water. We're adding about 4 cups of water. You can add more or less depending on how thick you want the soup. So we're going to be adding 2 more cups of water. 4 cups wasn't quite enough. And then we're just going to give it a little stir, just to make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom, or anything that was sticking is now off. So now that we added all the ingredients to the Instapot, we're going to put the pressure cooker setting on for about 30 minutes. You want to line up the 2 arrows, slide it over to close, make sure the vent in the back is on sealing, and it will automatically start on its own. So you press pressure cooker, set for 30 minutes. If you want it more or less, you just press up and down. So we want 30 minutes, and if you leave it in the closed position, it will just automatically will start by itself. So the dal is done. It got nice and thick. So we're just gonna ladle it into a bowl, and we're gonna give it a taste. It smells delicious. Gonna garnish it with some cilantro. Now you wanna serve this with some naan or rice or some kind of like nice vegetable dish. We'll do a video of what we prefer. We like this nice butternut squash dish that we're gonna make. It really goes good with the dal. It's creamy. The spices come through. It's a little spicy, not too spicy though. It really hits the spot, especially on a nice, cool, rainy day. It's delicious. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you guys try the recipe and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next week.